right here. You can see blue skies in some screens that we've got. Michael Winley's got a blue sky up in the top there. We can see that going on. And yeah, season's here. So we got to make sure that we're warming things up here because, of course, you know, as things warm up, things will start to pick up. So what we're going to be digging into here tonight is staying ahead of some things, some what I call balls in the street. Staying ahead of pricing in inflationary times. Right now, there's a lot of stuff going on. Raise your hand if you're hearing some stuff about, you know, maybe some inflation that's going to be taking place here coming up. Raise your hand if you would say that we're probably going to be dealing with some stuff here. Yeah. These are balls in the street, as we say. Matthias, is my connection all good in the hood?
Yeah, you're pretty good. A little bit of
Mr. Matthias, my connection all good in the hood?
So far it is, yeah. Can you hear me?
All right, cool. Yeah, loud and clear. Give me 1 second, guys, because I'm tuning in from my cell phone here tonight. I'm just doing something. And that should become better. All right, cool. Can you guys see me perfectly now? Or am I choppy?
You're gone. You don't have a picture. There you are. You're back.
I should be back now. Sorry about that, guys. Sorry about that. All right, let's do this thing. You know, patience is the best appetizer, right? So let's carve into this thing, guys. And if, by the way, Mr. Matthias, if there's any time where I'm starting to get choppy, do me a favor, just barge in, and I'm going to try to move between devices. Team, my laptop bit the dust, and if I turn my camera on my laptop, the battery completely shuts down. It overpowers the system, and it will cut off. So I'm working between a laptop, 2 screens, and my phone. I appreciate everybody's understanding. So yeah, there's balls in the street, team, and let's make sure that we start identifying some of those balls. And then what we want to do is start to come up with solutions to be able to deal with those balls. So let's get this thing started. I'm your host every week here, Judd Burdon, and of course, I've got my awesome co-host that joins me every week on here, Mr. Matthias Rawson. Thank you for being here with me, brother. I really appreciate that, man. You're a superstar. I also want to thank you guys for showing up, man, because, you know, a lot of people just don't show up, and they have dreams, they have aspirations, but they actually don't show up. So I want to congratulate you guys for actually being here, for showing up. And that's something that's really important. And tonight, what we're going to be doing is essentially talking about these critical things about balls in the streets and how to stay ahead of these price issues that we're going to have, and of course, what we call an inflationary time that we're going to be seeing. There's no doubt we are going to see price increases. I'm speaking with large national vendors. I'm speaking with a lot of manufacturers, and you guys are going to see some adjustments in pricing. So what we want to do is not wait until it's too late. We want to make sure that we're staying ahead of the curve, because I think we would all agree, you'd raise your hand to this, is that we don't want to be stuck in a spot where we've got a big project that's ahead and all of a sudden you have to go back to a client and say, you know what, man, I can't do the project anymore because cost of goods have risen and I just can't do it anymore. We want to make sure that we're taking care of those things. So before we dive in, though, there's one thing that I do want to touch on. Some of you are already in it, and there's also those of you that may have heard about it today. We actually have officially launched the AK Contractor Network. And this is a national directory that we've actually built that connects you with property managers, customers who are actually looking for pavement professionals in their area. Over the last 20 years, we've built, which is pretty cool, the most trafficked asphalt maintenance and repair site on the planet in the history of all mankind. We are the most trafficked. And so we get a lot of people calling our sales lines. We get a lot of people emailing inbound looking for people to do work for them. And we said it's finally time that we build out this network that is within our Asphalt Kingdom to be able to have you guys have listings on that contractor network. It is completely free to put your listing on there. If you are an AK-King Boss member, Mr. Malone, you do get a premium listing as part of that where you have a gold circle on the map. But for all of you, regardless of whether you're on Dash, we wanted to give that and open it up to you guys to have your business listed on the contractor network. And that, of course, ties you to the brand, 20-year-old brand. It ties you to more social proof. It allows you to have a listing on the contractor network that allows you to be found when somebody is searching on there. And so, Mr. Malone, you're on here right now. If you could just raise your hand. Go ahead and raise your hand. A lot of you know Mr. Malone, Dylan Malone. He's going to drop his meeting link down in the meeting link in the chat there. You can feel free to book some time with him. But what he can do is help to facilitate getting a directory listing up for you guys and directing you in the right direction so that you guys have that exposure. All right, guys. So it's a huge give. We're super excited to bring that to the community, guys. Take advantage of it. It's well worth it. All right, let's get into things. So I've got essentially 7 key things that are going to help you to win this year. And the first one that I want to cover off here is that we want to make sure that we understand how to use job costing solutions to protect your margin in this season. And so if you're using any job costing calculators out there, we do have those job costing calculators available to you guys. Have you seen the supply calculators and job costing calculators that we have? If you haven't seen them, drop your email in the chat and we'll go ahead and send you a link over to those so that you can have a clearer understanding of your job costing. Because if you're not actually tracking your job costs as we're going through quoting projects, you really are flying blind. And we know you guys don't want to be flying blind and find out later when you've completed a project that there's absolutely no profit in a job for you. Do you guys agree with that? That it's important to make sure you're going through all your job costing first? Okay. Very, very important. Do not quote a job based upon what you hear as industry standard pricing. It's very dangerous. You want to be pricing your jobs based upon the markup or margin that you want to allocate to your true costs so that you can then make a profit. Don't do it bass-backwards, guys. Don't do it bass-backwards. You can end up in a bad spot. So another thing too is we are about to roll out a material and labor coster in our proposals as well. Mr. Dylan McCann, who's been working on that this week, so that's coming to you guys as well. That portion of the material and labor cost is going to be built into those proposals so that you guys are always pricing your proposals properly. So we're excited to bring that to you guys as well. We want to make sure you guys are winning there. And that's, I believe, Mr. Malone, that's coming by the end of next week. Is that correct? End of next week?
Yes, sir.
Beautiful. I want to bring a stat to you guys about this. Listen to this. 53% of contractors say that job costing is their biggest challenge in our industry, but people who are using digital tools report 18% higher margins. Okay, so what we want to make sure of, 18% higher margins is a lot of freaking money when you're getting into hundreds of thousands of dollars, right? It's a lot, right? To your bottom line, it's a lot of dough. So don't leave that by the wayside. Use job costing to protect your margins. That's one. Write that down, put it on a bumper sticker, paste it. For those of you that are not on video, come on video so that we can fill up this screen. We want to really get this meeting lit up here, guys. All right. Come on video. The second thing is quote expiration dates and risk sharing clauses. So quote expiration dates. You guys understand what I mean by that, right? Today, your price on sealer is X per gallon. Today, your price per pound for crack sealer is Y. Your paint per gallon pricing is Z. Your silica sand is this per bag per pound. Your cost rate now can be very different than what it's going to be in 30 days from now. Mark my words. There's a good chance it will be very different from what it is in 30 days, 90 days later. We don't know what's going on. There's a lot of shifting, a lot of power plays that are taking place politically. We're not going to speak politically, but what I will say is there's big deals that are taking place. We'll just say some really big negotiating deals. I think that we can all agree are underway right now, and we're getting the brunt of it. As small business, we're going to get the brunt of it. Prepare and plan appropriately. Your quotation expiration dates must not exceed that 30 days. And you should also make sure with your vendors that you've secured your pricing for 30 days. In your proposal, make sure that note is in there with your client that you have the right to change pricing if raw materials or COGs fluctuate due to things that are taking place in our economic environment. Please add that to your proposals. Everyone on side with me on that? Very, very, very important. Protect yourself. There's nothing better than having the writing and signed off agreement that people are saying, yes, I'm cool with that because the expectation's set, they've agreed to it, you're safe and sound. Nothing is worse, again, than having, let's say, a 15 or 20% price increase on your materials and you had 25% margin on a job and going back to your client and saying, shoot, I can't do this $100,000 job or 50,000 or 20,000, whatever it is. Nothing worse than that. Okay. I want you guys to know that construction material pricing is expected to increase almost 38% in the next 30 to 60 days. That is a dangerous number, team, if you're not prepared and planned for it. I do want to give you some light, though, about what we're speaking about. I've been through recessions. I've been through pandemics in this industry. I've been living, breathing, sweating, bleeding this industry from the time I was 19 years old. And I'll tell you that when we have any kind of situations that have economic constriction or people get into a place of fear, they move away from large capital projects and they move into smaller capital projects like maintenance and repairs, which means that our industry thrives through those times. You guys are in the right place. So round of applause for being in the right place. Straight up, guys, this is really, really freaking awesome that we actually are in this industry right now and that we have the opportunity to power forward even when these times are going to get tough. Okay? We have a really, really fun business. We're in a really cool industry, guys. Remember that. Don't get feared. Don't let fear come into you. I'm just trying to help you with some of these things that can protect you. Okay, balls in the street. We don't want to trip over them. Next thing, buy bulk if you do have cash reserves. Buy bulk if you do have cash reserves, because the price you see today will not be the price that you will see in 30 to 60 to 90 days. I promise you. Promise you. You will, mark my words. We'll come back on the roundtable in 30 to 60 to 90 days. Mark my words. And these are high-level conversations that I'm having industry-wide, again, with manufacturers and national partners. Prices will be increasing. Okay? Buy in bulk if you have cash reserve in any way, or you can leverage an account with a vendor that you have at current price, as long as you can pay within the payment time frame that you've negotiated with your vendor. Please leverage your current pricing as much as you can, team. Very, very important. Rubber is like gold to you guys. Crack sealer right now, if you have the cash to buy 4 pallets versus 1 pallet, do it. Whether you're buying it from us or another vendor, do it. My goal here is to make sure you guys are winning. Stock it. Find a spot for it. It's like investing, right? It's not a cost or expense. It's an investment for you. Cool. What are you guys thinking about these things that we're speaking about right now? Are these good? These helpful? Cool. Sell the value of maintenance. Number 4, sell the value of maintenance. This one's really, really for your customers, guys. Maintenance is not a cost. It is not a cost. It's a cost saver. Okay? Remember that. And you have to say that to your customer. Maintenance is not a cost. It's a cost saver. You want to really position yourself not as a seal coater or repair guy at any point in time. Remember what we are. We're a pavement asset management consultant. We're not selling someone seal coating that doesn't need seal coating. We're selling someone seal coating that needs seal coating because we can extend the life of the pavement and, of course, enrich the aesthetic properties of that particular asset, right? We're repairing a pothole because there's a safety and liability risk. not because we're trying to, not trying to just go after a full paving project. We can actually repair the potholes and save them money. But if there's 95 potholes on a 3,000 square foot lot, we're probably not going to repair the potholes. Would be best to suit consulting them on a replacement, right? Don't sell them the pothole repair. However, if it comes down to it that they don't have the finances to do it and they're saying, I can't have all these tripping hazards, I need you to just do these pothole repairs, then you do what it is that you need to do to help that client. But first and foremost, be the consultant first and teach them that maintenance is not a cost. It's actually a cost saver. You guys clear on that? Cool. Make sure you also, with the, like from a maintenance perspective, there's an infographic that we have in the vault that's maintenance versus no maintenance. Raise your hand if you've ever seen that infographic, maintenance versus no maintenance. Okay, some of you have seen it. For those of you who have not seen it, reach out to Malone. Malone is on here. He will get you access to that in that sales vault. His email is right at the bottom of the screen. Raise your hand again, Malone. He'll get you access to that maintenance versus no maintenance infographic chart that you guys can throw your business label on. You can throw it in your social media. You can give it out as a handout to your clients. But what you want to show is that there's an investment that your client is making if they do the proper maintenance throughout the life cycles of the pavement's duration. Do you guys follow me on that? You want to have that infographic. It's very, very helpful. Cool. And by the way, property owners who maintain pavement properly, they end up extending the life of the pavement by sometimes 3 times if it's done properly from the time it's laid. Okay, sometimes 3 times if it's laid properly with the right maintenance programs. So I think it's fair to say that you probably want to consider providing some kind of a budget plan associated with their pavement assets on an ongoing basis. In other words, what if you could give them a 10-year budget plan attached to their pavement asset? What if you could give them that, a 10-year budget plan? Reach out to Malone. He's going to share that as well, the 10-year budget plan template. He's going to give it to you guys. All right. Sales Vault, Malone. We're going to share these. I'm doing a bunch of give outs tonight. Cool. Now, let me ask you guys right now, when you guys are thinking about, potentially labor costs rising, product costs rising, and these kind of things, do we think that efficiency might be important in your business, that planning and making sure your SOPs and you're making the most out of the time, is that really, really important to you as an owner operator, as well as if you have a team of people that are operating? Is that important? You need to be efficient. You need to be fast. You need to be super effective. You need to make sure your calendar is tuned, your scheduling solution, whatever you're using. For Dash users, there is the scheduling function now that we have built in. In that scheduling function, you can literally tie team members into jobs, schedule your jobs properly, tie the team members in, make sure you understand the time that it's going to take to complete those jobs, and try to pin that attached to the job, and then look back at your projects to see if your budgeted costs are actually matching your actual, so that you can calculate the variance, how far you were off. So you have assumptive pricing that's attached to budget, right? What you think is going to be the cost, but then actually what the costs are, what the difference is. It's very important that you guys know that what you're planning is matching up with what actually happens as much as you can all the time. Because when you do that, you end up being able to forecast and do some predictive revenue forecasting and profit forecasting for your company. If it's your first year, you may not do it immediately, but if you go into your second year, you'll have some of that yellow brick road that you've already traveled that you can now tie into year 2. Matthew VO, you've learned a lot in the last few years, brother. You know a lot. Your yellow brick road now, you've walked a lot of it, but now you're sharp, you're optimized, bigger jobs, understanding more about the time it's going to take to complete. Stay sharp, stay ahead of the curve, brother. Make sense? Cool. Number 6, follow-up systems matter more than ever. Follow-up systems. And so what I mean by that is this, team. If we're saying that in today's market, by the way, the stat has changed. Last year and the year before was like 11 to 12 touch points, follow-ups after you've sent out a proposal. Today is almost 16, guys. 16. And so when we think about 16 touch points, what we mean is that the conversion window, the time frame to convert, is expanding. It's getting bigger. And guess what? Guess what your competition's doing right now? They're not following up the way that we're going to talk about following up right now. They're not hearing 16. They're not a sales organization that's really getting sharp like you guys are right here on the roundtable right now. What I want to make sure of is that you guys are not letting your leads slip through the cracks. Put in the work and do your follow-ups. And I'm not saying 16 phone calls. I'm saying 16 touch points. And you want that automation to be in place as much as you can, guys. No matter what proposal platform you use, guys, I want to make sure that your automation is built, because you have to be building a machine today that doesn't rely on you remembering to do those 16 follow-ups, because you won't do them. You and I both know you're not going to do 16 follow-ups for every proposal. I mean, shit, that's like 10 proposals. You have to do 160 follow-ups. You put out 100 proposals, that's 1,600 follow-ups. You can't physically do that and run a business and grow it. Automation, you need workflows. You need automation built in. And that's why in AK Dash, again, I'm going to plug it. We built it for you guys. We have automation built in there for you. It's built in that workflow. So you guys now have that automation. And guys, you can hear me coming back to Dash. Dash is a system that we've developed for you guys, because I've covered a shit ton of the stuff we're talking about in there with our team to make this easier for you guys, so that we're not competing with people down in the lower echelon. We want to bump up and be operating in an upper tier of the way that we operate our business. This roundtable you're watching live right now, some people are going to watch the recording. Come back, watch the recording. The notes that you guys are going to take them down and take them really seriously. Whether you're using Dash, whether you're using Jobber or PaveSoft, I don't care what you guys are using. Just do it. Trust me on it. Take advantage. It's right at your fingertips. Leverage technology so that you guys have the automation in place to be able to do your 16 touch points, because your conversion rates skyrocket. Remember, most of your competitors are doing what? 1 or 2 follow-ups? Mr. Matthias, jump in, brother.
Yeah, I was on a call today with a gentleman. He's newer, so I know he's trying. So he sends out his quote, and then I'm on the phone with him. This was last week. He sent it out, and he says, yeah, I sent one quote out there. I still haven't heard anything. That's typically who you're dealing with. Just don't be the guy that's waiting for somebody else to reach out to you, because it ain't going to happen. You need to be proactive, which means as soon as you send the quote out, give them a call or text them. Hey, did you get the quote? Hey, if there's any questions, let me know. 2 or 3 days, and I'll call you on Friday to, discuss. Perfect. Sounds good. Make sure that you're always actively hunting your opportunity.
100%, brother. 100%. Raise your hand, honestly, if you agree with that follow-up's crucial, right? And then some people say, okay, well, Judd, what kind of follow-ups can we do that are going to be different? Follow-ups that are going to be the difference that makes the difference. And I think it's such an important thing for you guys to really think about is a standard email that we send, hey, just following up on that quote that I sent you, is that power-packed? Just following up on the quote that I sent you? I'm like, that may be one touch point, Todd, but what I will say is that every other contractor that's quoted probably sends the same email. So what's the difference that makes the difference? What's something that we can do in a follow-up that's going to be a strategic positioning towards a more likelihood of converting a client by building the trust with them? Because if they don't know, like, and trust you, you guys are cooked, right? They have to really like you. You can't be a salesperson following up about a quote. Hey, can I follow up on that quote? We're going to move forward with this. So what's one power play way? And I know that Alex is scoring on here. Good to see you, my man. Good to see you, brother. Alex does things that are completely different than what I've seen the majority, 99.9% of the industry do. And he does something with his follow-ups and the way that he presents his proposals that completely crushes competition. Any ideas?
Pavement assessment. Give a pavement assessment.
Alex, do you know what I'm talking about, brother?
Yeah, I just finished one this afternoon. $745,000 one bid for Hilton Concord, but it's got a 2.5 minute video embedded in it, walking through every single step of the process, with all the polygons on the property, a 3D map rotating around the property, clicking on the polygons with embedded pictures, and doing a complete walkthrough. That facilities manager can send that to anybody within Hilton corporate, and they know exactly what needs to be done on that property from halfway across the country.
Boom.
There's no questions about it.
Boom.
How'd you set that up?
Go ahead, Grant.
How'd you set that up, Alex?
How do I do it? I mean, I build property maps in Google, and then I import them into Google Earth. I create a KML file, and yeah, you can do that with in AK Dash. You have the measurement tools and whatever, you can measure things up. I'm not sure if, Judd, you can embed pictures into the measurement tool in AK Dash, but embedding the pictures is a pretty key thing. I also do video walkthroughs, so I'll walk the property and I'll talk and I'll do a pavement assessment for certain areas, and then I upload them to YouTube, and then I just put the YouTube link and embedded into the polygon on the map. And so the client gets that map link, they open up the map, and they've just got a full 3D interactive experience with their bid. And
Right.
it doesn't take that much longer, but when you're doing if you're asking for $750,000, I think people want to know what they're getting for their money.
Yeah.
Grant, just to chime in, Grant, too, like Alex coaches people in this arena, like legitimately. He's one of our AK coaches. He teaches people how to do exactly what he's speaking about right now. And that is, I'm telling you guys, it's badass. It's a pretty awesome differentiator. But you guys can imagine, like, if you wanted to do it on a very simple level, you could go on Zoom and create a meeting and just share your screen and record the meeting, and you guys could go on to whatever it is that you've mapped out, go through your proposal in detail, right? You can start sharing some of the stuff that speaks to the pain points of the person that you're delivering the proposal to. And then you can also do video walkthrough of the site, and of course add that YouTube link right to your proposal as well that they can click through to. So Alex takes it a whole new level, and if you're going to really hunt those whales out there, it's worth the time and energy to put in. Obviously, Alex's average job price is slightly increased by just a little.
Anything less than like 50 grand, I'm probably not putting in all that extra effort, right? But anything 50 grand and north of that, and even on some of the smaller things, we do a lot of concrete work as well, but even a seal coating job, I'll do a Zoom call like Judd said, and I'll present the quote to them in person, or virtually in person. You don't have to go out there. I mean, spend a lot of time driving to a client to show them a bid. Just set up a Zoom call and you can walk them through the property and walk them through the bid. Yeah.
I appreciate that.
We've got mastermarkings.com. I don't have your name up there, brother, but please feel free.
I should do that. I changed that, put my name there. It's Victor. I've only been on this group like twice, and I keep missing tonight. So I'm on here. But is there any way that Alex can connect like with myself and maybe others that are interested in actually show how to do that? I'm in a situation where Google has suspended my listing. I'm not getting any calls. I mean, nothing. So I'm cold calling and creating an email campaign, but my work right now is so in a bad situation. So anything I can do, this is amazing what he just presented here.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you see Alex's email that's on the bottom of his screen right there?
Yeah, I just wrote it, sidewalksafetyinc.com.
Alex, would you raise your hand if you'd like to know more about what Alex was just talking about? Because there could be a possible workshop, Alex, that we could put together. Maybe if you're up for it, man.
Yeah, I mean, if you let me share my screen, I could just show you like a quick little video or something, and as a teaser. But if you want to set up some kind of group session, would love to do that.
All right, cool. Yeah, well, let's come up with a plan. I want to make sure Alex is taken care of, guys. So just to be transparent with you guys, his
Absolutely.
time for money, and we want to make sure that he pays it forward all kinds. But there would be, just so you guys know, an investment to make sure that we're covering off the expenses there. Cool. Alex, go ahead and share your screen, brother. Don't worry, guys. I'll negotiate with Alex and make sure that we get.
So
Right on.
this is, can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll do this. This is the overall look and feel of the property, but I set up these different layers in here, and so you can see that I can turn this on and off. This, I just turned all these black for, let's see, I'll go in here. So these are color coded, right? And then I can go in and I can click on these different areas, and it gives me different measurements and stuff. With the asphalt patching and paving, turn these off. I got all of these areas. This is like a full depth repair. And so I've gone and I've taken these pictures of every single area on the property. And if you look at it, and this is kind of like the version they get, you can then blow up to like a full screen image. So this would be an example of like why we're doing a full depth repair, because of all the alligator cracking and stuff. But yeah, then we just like do some rotation stuff around the property, and you can zoom in, and then I can also, like, if I wanted to go from like a virtual environment into a lifetime, or like a real drive through of the property, I can then go from that 3D map and then actually drive through this parking lot and do that as part of my walkthrough as well. So that's pretty much the spiel. And then I record that walkthrough with a program called Vidyard, and then I just embed the URL into my proposal.
Mr. Hilton, what do you think of that, Mr. Hilton? You're muted, brother.
I'm muted?
No.
No,
Rod
no.
Hilton.
Rod Hilton.
Hello to everyone. Yeah, I think it's a great knowledge of how to definitely go to the next level. Absolutely.
I love that, because Alex was actually, that is a Hilton Hotel, and I looked over and I'm like, Rod, my buddy. Man, doing, brother?
Yeah, it's been a little while. Just been super busy,
Cool. Good to see you. How are things? You ready to crush this season? You're already busy, I'm sure, picking up.
Yeah, we're already ahead 30% of what we was last year already this year.
Amazing.
So, yeah, it's definitely taken off to be probably a record year.
What year are you going into?
4. Yeah, it's definitely been a ride.
Cool, man. Well, it's good to see you. By the way, Rod Hilton's one of the most giving men that I've met, certainly, and seen. Like, he's, the way that he pays it forward constantly to the community, and the way that you operate, man. It's like you've built such success with your business, but it's like, well, every time I see you, man, it's like you're building more success so that you can give more, and that's something really special, brother.
So I just went ahead and bought another facility to house everything inside, 5 acres on the outside, and we got a 200,000 square foot building now. And I actually took about 3,000 square foot of 2 office areas and made them where we give back to the homeless. We take in all types of clothes, jackets, and everything else. So and then we have 1 day a week where they come and they can take whatever they want, and that way they're they get whatever they need.
You're a good man, brother.
Yeah.
Good man.
But again, if it wasn't for you, nothing would have ever came to be. You know what I mean? I give all the glory to you, Judd.
Brother, you know what? I appreciate those words. But I will say this, man, I'm here to just plant seeds, guys, and you guys are the ones that are gonna, you grow your gardens, guys. I'll be there to water with you, but at the end of the day, you guys are putting in that hard work and really following the systems and the processes that, we do our best to show you guys and just expand that peripheral vision. We don't, by all means, guys, like just transparently, we don't know it all, but we've got some good experience under our belt, a lot of good years where we've worked with a lot of people. And so if we can share that with you guys, that's what makes our hearts sing, man, is when we see success stories like Rod Hilton. And for those of you that have built great success on this screen, I can see a lot of you who are continuing to grow. Some of you guys just starting out on your journey, but Rod, you're an inspiration, man. And I appreciate your kind words, brother.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Cool. All right. So guys, I had stated you want to schedule like a pro, and then you want to make sure you have follow-up systems, which was point number 6. And then last week, do you guys remember when I was speaking about profit first? Do you remember that? Raise your hand if you're a part of that conversation. Did anybody put any thought into that? Raise your hand if you put any thought into profit first. All right, cool. Put some thought into it. Did anybody take action on that? Honestly. Matthias has got his thumbs up.
I've been doing that for like 25 years. I always put something like as soon as my paycheck goes in, out comes a percentage of it into its own account. So I've been doing that for a long time. I think it's well worth it. You got to pay yourself first, so that you'll never have anything at the end of the month.
Imagine that you guys had a target and it was going to be 25% net profit for your business. Just write that down, 25% net profit. Hypothetically speaking, that 25% net profit means that you're going to take 25% of every job and you're going to put it into its own account. You're not going to know what your profit is until you, of course, are doing your job costing out of the gate and making sure that you've got your proposals in place, that you're really targeting the profit that you're looking to hunt. But if you took profit first, what you're going to find is that you're going to build a business around making that happen for you. Because if you don't do it, team, I'm telling you, you end up at the end of the season sometimes and the winter's approaching, and you don't have your stacked cash and you've worked your ass off to not make any money. And I'm okay with you guys taking your net profit at the end of the year and not spending it on Lamborghinis or whatever it is that you want to spend on. Some of you do. We have clients that are in this industry that have bought Lamborghinis and have bought R8s and pickup trucks and fleets and go on fancy vacations. Like, there are literally people in our industry that have done that. And that's fine. That's what they choose to do. But as a starting point, when you're first starting out in the business, you probably want to be reinvesting that profit into your business because it'll be the best investment you'll ever make. I know some of you might be looking at NVIDIA's stock right now at $96 saying, man, I remember when that was $150. I'd much prefer to see you guys not investing into NVIDIA, but instead into your business and making sure that you got the processes, the systems, and the operations in place to really move the needle. I heard a pain point about a Google My Business listing, Victor, that got suspended, and it's going to be very hard to get it back unless you have a company that can really help you with that. And the reason why is Google's cracking down on anything that is a service-based business that doesn't actually have your equipment and your place of business at that address. They really, really are crushing companies. They're crushing companies with this. You can go from literally relying on Google as a key man for your business. Now, let me ask you a question, team. This is a very, very important one, and I would write it down. What is the number one thing that is impacting your enterprise value negatively? What is the number one thing impacting your enterprise value? In other words, if I was coming to buy your company and you told me the number one thing that could potentially depreciate your company I would want to know what that is. And I can tell you that if you guys are relying on Google, it's like relying on Amazon with somebody who's just selling on Amazon, making a living. Very dangerous. Very, very dangerous. I've seen eBay power sellers that go from making $30 million a month to making zero overnight. Google My Business listings are very dangerous to rely on. So we got to build a machine. We got to build a machine. That machine is not only Google My Business. We have to be omni-channel present and have a plan of attack so that we can build as much enterprise value through creating an arc that can weather storms. It's very, very important. Relying on social media is dangerous. But if you're able to build a system, a machine that allows you to go out and sell jobs by providing pavement assessment solutions, and you have a sales machine that's doing that, you're relying on your sales process to nurture your sales forecast that is tied to your profits so that at the end of the year, you can reinvest in the equipment or buy the Lamborghini. You guys following me on this? Is that making sense? Questions about this, guys, really, really important. Victor, if you have questions, please don't hesitate, brother. There are all kinds of different solutions so that we don't have to rely on big old Google to have our lifeline here. It's very, very, it's sad to see what Google has done to a lot of our companies.
Yeah, I really realized because last year was my best year ever. I've been in business 2007, and last year was my best year ever. And then what happened was I had updated an address. So when I updated my address, they didn't change the old one. They just created a new profile. Then when they discovered this spring that I had a new profile, they suspended everything. But my concept was last year, my business was built on my reputation with other contractors. Like I do basically primary seal coating, striping, new layouts, wheel stops, signs, that kind of thing. I'm doing the maintenance side. I'm not doing any paving, but I have contractors that can do paving if I run into the work. But yeah, my exact outlook was to do what you just said, build systems, not rely on social media, and have contacts with a lot of clients that I can do work for. You know, I don't want to rely on Google.
No, it's like, you know what it's like relying on, imagine was your account and you were doing a bunch of striping on hundreds of Amazon lots, and Amazon says, you know what, I'm shutting off the tap. Well,
Right.
your business is built around a key man risk. And if your business is built around a key man risk, it means that your enterprise value goes down through the floor, and then you're not going to have a buyer for your business. And I'm not saying anyone's selling their business, but you have to be building it as though we're going to sell it always. It's important.
I got you. That's it. That's right.
Cool. What are some of the ways that we can, what are some of the things we can leverage to maybe not have that key man risk for leads and sales? What are some of the things that we could do? Raise your hand if you've got any ideas, guys. Let's share a bunch so we can write them down. Golden nuggets. Any ideas? I think, Victor, you touched on one right there, is building your network of contractors or companies that are going to have you perform the projects on their behalf, right? Relationships, right? Your network. Mr. Matthias.
Definitely don't ignore any of the things we're talking about. Don't ignore Google, don't ignore Facebook, don't ignore LinkedIn, you know, all of these. If you start using all of them, the likelihood that they all shut down is unlikely. But you're right, organic, where you're going out and visiting people that you have relationships with, or talking with them, or emailing them on a regular basis, whatever that looks like, dripping, you know, information gives, whatever that looks like. Don't I know Judd's not saying ignore Google and get yourself off Google. You're just saying make sure it's not the only thing supporting. I mean, a three-legged stool, you kick one of those legs out and it falls, right? So it's all about making sure you have a really strong foundation of information going out.
I've got a really good one, guys, and every one of you should do it. If you did it, I'm telling you, it would be game changing. Billy Ammons, what's up, brother? You got your hand up over there. You got an idea? You got something that can limit the key man? You're muted, brother.
Actually, Gabriel, I think might have had a question. Gonna let him
Yeah.
chime in.
Well, I guess I could go ahead and answer your question first though, Judd. And I guess one of them going off of Victor piggybacking with contractors. I guess another one would be getting in with your local property managers. So real estate agencies looking into who are the property managers around your areas, HOAs, strip malls, all of those have property managers, commercial and residential. I think that would be a good one. But to ask my question, my question was actually directed towards Alex, and I was curious if that software he was using, are you paying for that, or is this a free software that you're using that is built in Google?
Yep, it's Google My Maps.
It's Google Maps, and you just utilize the tools that they supply in order to color the asphalt and stuff like that to give a to
If
give
Google knew what I was doing, they would figure out a way to charge me.
yeah yeah okay
Uh, I've shared this with some marketing companies that do a few things, and they're like, I can't believe what you're doing for free with this product.
okay.
It's like blows everybody away.
And you're doing it with Google Maps or Google Earth?
Google My Maps.
Google My Maps.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
You have to attend the workshop, brother.
It's it took me, let's say, 5 years to really figure out every single loophole and trick. There's a few, but they're very easily teachable, and the results are really, really good. So
Okay. Thank you, brother. I may need to tune into that workshop then, man. If it took you 5 years, maybe you can expedite that process.
yeah, I mean, if you just kind of start plugging away with it yourself, you get some basic functionality, but
Yeah.
there's a lot of tricks. Yeah.
Okay, cool, man.
By the way, Alex is super humble, guys. Like he is next level in the way that he thinks and the detail that he goes into and the way that he builds. I've not met Alex, huge compliment to you, brother. Like you're super next level, man.
Appreciate that, Joe. Thank you.
Yep,
My
of
number
course.
one contractor that I brought, onto the business, he was about 18 months ago. Number one guy went through training with Alex, and he just was like, Alex is up here. So yeah, you did a great job with Jason Morales, and he's always saying
thank you.
nothing but great things about you.
Yeah, love to help out.
So one more thing to add on top of that, guys, everyone should do this with the business on here. Everyone. Just write it down. It's really, really simple. It's YouTube. If you don't have a YouTube channel, then I'm just telling you, you're gonna be kind of left behind. And I mean that and when I say left behind in the marketing side of things, right? Your YouTube channel is really, really important, guys. Raise your hand if you've seen our YouTube channel. I know every single person would raise both hands like to the sky. You guys are here because you saw videos, man. Like you legitimately have watched videos. There was enough value in those videos to make you guys stick and come and be attracted to what we had. And those videos you keep watching again. And some of you guys have visited our website hundreds of times. You know what I mean? And you guys have watched hundreds of our videos too. And I think that you guys should really think about shooting some videos that are important for your business, that create the social proof, but are also optimized for certain services that you provide. You don't need to go and just, vomit your whole message out to someone on one video, but you can break it down into videos that are specifically for a service that you're selling. And so like Billy was on a racetrack, right? Last roundtable, he was literally calling in from the racetrack, and the way he was stenciling and doing stuff out there. I mean, he could shoot a video on how to stencil numbers, man. Like, and that could be one. Like he's got a video already on his phone, but it's blocking out with that background, right? But that video right there, man, you know what I'm talking about. You got lots of content out there, right? You shot that.
I'll be honest, Judd. Y'all, the coaches would kill me if they knew how much money I'm investing into this opportunity. This was a big project that I underestimated the amount of work to do it by yourself. Probably the only person crazy enough to in the United States to do a NASCAR track by themselves. But I will say the content that I'm creating, I invested and got a drone. I got a GoPro camera, so I'm attaching it to my truck and I'm driving around the track and they can see the striping. I'm gonna edit it where it looks like a NASCAR pit stop. I go in and then I'm gonna get out by the camera, and just do some creative things. I'm gonna go to the race. I'm gonna make it something that I got down about how much money that it's costing me to do this big project I wasn't probably ready for. I'm gonna make 10x because I'm gonna use the content to create it to justify why I'm not the cheapest. I'm gonna be a high quality service because XYZ is using me or XYZ. So it's and I couldn't be here without the support of the team and the confidence to sell that job without the equipment to do so. So I just want to thank the team here. The reason why I'm building the confidence every week is because I'm following the dang process. All right. So thank you, team.
Yeah, man. Well, freaking proud of you, brother. Good way to crush it, and that's that mentality too, it's there you go. Cheers, boys. Happy round table.
Hey,
That's
Judd,
yeah, let's do it,
can,
Rob.
can I ask a quick question of Alex? And this really has to do with, I really don't know this. Like when you do a personal video for somebody and you post it on YouTube, are you posting it on your channel to increase your digital presence and sending them the link to that specific video and leaving it up? Because it's obviously your digital presence is going to be something that you have to have a multiplier for when you go to sell a business or transfer it. How are you posting the video, and is that increasing your video footprint on YouTube?
It's to my personal channel, and I just take the links, and they're not even public videos because they're highly specific to a property walkthrough in a specific area of a parking lot. So I'm not doing like a general, hey guys, here's how you do parking lot maintenance, hit me up and this is what we do. It's very specific to each area. So they're all private videos, but I don't have a YouTube channel. I don't do social media. I don't do a lot of outreach and marketing. What I do is I heavily invest in relationships with property management companies and facilities managers that do nationwide large projects. Like one partner I work with that came through Judd is US Bank, right? And so they have 130 locations in California, and we did a lot of work with them last year, and we jumped through a lot of hoops to kind of get on board after they stopped their facilities management team last year. But getting with companies like that, like JLL is now managing US Bank, and they have projects coming out of their ears, and you just need to get in with a couple of these facilities management companies and they'll just keep calling you up because what they're seeing across the board is that there's not really high quality contractors and vendors. It's hard to find somebody, and when they do find somebody they like to work with, you are getting every single job, all of it.
Thank you.
Sure.
Guys, I'm gonna
just to follow that real quick. I got 2 seconds. It was just about the fact that this wasn't like this at the beginning though, correct? Did you ever do any type of social media?
No.
Never?
So
you just got
I came from B2B sales. That was my background. So B2B, and I just went straight after multi-point of contact. I don't do a lot of one and done clients. Yeah.
What I will say is this: Alex is growing a multi-million-dollar company, doing it the way that he's doing it. However, I would still advise, like if I was sitting at a table with Alex, him and I would still advise to get a YouTube channel up and to have a social media presence up, just to make sure that those are connected to his business. Because as a buyer, if I was buying his company, I would want to know who his customer base is, but I'd also want to understand his intellectual property beyond just the customer base. I'd want to know that there's a brand developed, a website that's there. I want to know that those things are up. But I'm just saying that as a side note, like, team, you can do it a variety of different ways, but just try to check all the boxes that you can over time to build that enterprise value with your organization.
Yeah, 1,000%. Like that's a piece I'm missing. I literally just don't have the bandwidth to, I mean, I'm buried chasing and writing big deals. So if I had some spare time, I would be dedicated towards those things. 1,000%.
What year is it for you, Alex?
Kind of year 8, but let's say for the first 5 years, I had another full-time job, and I was sort of this company was kind of a side hustle. So I guess we did 3 full years last year. This would be my 4th year on my own. I guess our 9th year. 9th year is me owning the company. Yeah.
Year 1, could you have done a Hilton?
No.
Okay,
Well,
maybe.
it's I would say, like, all you need is the equipment, right? So
Yeah.
year one, yes, we could have done it. It's having the right team in place. Like, you can't just be, hey, it's just me and I know what I'm doing, because you can't do 50, 80,000 square feet a day by yourself. So you need to build a team, and it takes a few years, and then the team needs to know what they're doing. Skylar could probably speak to that, you know, and Dom, they've built an exceptional team, and they have a great training program. And we have 7 employees, and they're all tenured. So it takes a little while to get there, but if you have the equipment, you know, doing a 10,000 square foot parking lot is the same thing as doing a 200,000 square foot parking lot. It's just a little bit bigger. You just need the team.
So I know, Grant, just as a side note, what I will answer your question, I know that if I was starting out in year 1, I know that Alex could help me close a Hilton and find a performance partner to actually execute on that project as a sub. I know he could teach me how to do that. 100%. And it wouldn't take long to do it.
Yeah, we don't like that Hilton job. I don't own a paver. I don't own a paver. Like, I'll send my striping team out there to do that job, but that quote I just sent out for $750,000, I'll make 15 to 20% on that just from writing the bid and managing the project. So I'll make 100 grand. Well, let's call it 100 grand. I'll make 100 grand on that job just for going out and closing the deal.
Yeah. Alex, remember, guys, you're building sales companies, right? You're not building a seal coating business. That should be on a bumper sticker. When you guys get off from the round table, I'm building a sales company. We're going to solve people's problems, over deliver on the value, and we're going to consult people on their pavement assets. That's what we're going to do. Whether we're self-performing or subbing the work out, we got this. Just make sure you're trained up and tuned up before you lose your shirt on a big project like that as well, Grant. You that thing, obviously, without making sure that you understood the details of the contract and the kind of cash outlay that you'd have to make, right? Very important. Sometimes you're better off just to take a commission on a connection of a deal in that scenario, a kickback. Yeah. Cool. Guys, we're at the top of the hour. I'm going to share my screen just to show you guys this one more time. Super important. Okay, cool. Everybody see my screen? Nice. This is the contractor network. So you're going to have facility managers, property managers. We have clients like Walmart, JLL. We have Simon Malls. We've got a lot of different national property owners and managers, and they'll come in and select asphalt or concrete. They're going to plug in the address that they're looking to have the project, and they're going to search, and they'll be able to find premium listings that are here in gold. The red ones are the basic free listings transparently. And then, of course, you've got all of the premium here, and then you've got all the freebies that are down there, but they will show up on the map closest to them, and they'll be able to click right through to be able to see the company. Those are premium, where you have your own web page, and it's super easy to sign up. The freebie basic one, super easy to sign up as well. Okay. Over here, guys, I'm going to drop the link right in here in our chat. Just bear with me here. Let's do this thing. I'm going to drop it in the chat. Mr. Malone, you can put your calendar address in there. That link right there, you can sign up for the regular free listing. You'll see it there right up at the top. Sign up, team. It's a smart one. There's no catches, there's no shackles, there's no later on pricing. It's completely free to be a part of that contractor network. So take advantage of it. We want you guys to win. Cool. By the way, when you put your information in for the contractor network as well, there are ways for us to also connect the dots on being able to give you guys reviews and doing that stuff right internally, not dishonestly, but with integrity. So if you guys have a Facebook page or a Google My Business profile, in the scenario that it's still active, please don't hesitate to share that with Dylan Malone and the team that we have at AK Dash. We're always here to help you guys win. Make sense? Cool. We won't say that you did a project for us, but what we will say is that you're committed to your business and that you're part of the contractor network. Love to work with you. We love to work with you, I should say. Any last questions, team, before we hop off? No? Good value tonight, guys? A lot of good value? Alex, really appreciate your time, man, and with the team here. And yeah, let's chat about a workshop. That sounds fun.
Let's do it. If you got a minute after, I have a question for you about Google.
Absolutely. I'll call you on the way to dinner with my wife and kiddos in the car. I'll be about 10 minutes in the car. So let's catch up and then go from there. Everyone, thumbs up. I see people thumbs up and I see people waving. Is there another question? Do we have another question? Speak up. Go for it.
I just got on, Judd.
You're an hour late, brother.
I just did 2 quotes, and I think I'll probably get both these driveways, so they'll be my first 2.
Dude, I love it, man. Well, you've got a beauty now in the driveway. I know that when it arrived, you were like, yes. So let's connect, man. Hit me up on WhatsApp. Let's connect here over the next day or 2, and would love to catch up.
All
Cool.
right, sounds good.
Guys, go out there, crush it. Use the stuff that we're sharing with you guys. And if you don't use it all, at least try 1 or 2 of the things on there and keep powering forward. Remember, guys, you're in a beautiful, beautiful industry. So pat yourself on the back for working hard and for being a part of an awesome community and paying it forward, guys. What you learn here, please do pay forward. We'll see you next week, same time, same place, right here on the AK Roundtable. And Mr. Matthias, thanks.
You betcha.
See
you
ya.
guys next time. Have a great evening.